How's the week been for North Melbourne, and how does it feel in the build up to this big clash with Geelong? Do you feel like there's something to prove this week? Is there a chance to get one over the cap?
Yeah, well, we go into every game preparing as well as we can, and Cats are a pretty formidable outfit. They've played a lot of good footy this year, and they've been pretty consistent for a long period of time. So it's a big challenge, but we're excited with what we can bring. We're really strong for the best part of 3 quarters against Sydney, and then fell away. Heaney and Grundy put on a show in the last quarter, and it was hard to stop. So we just got to go deeper into games. We've been pretty competitive the week before against Melbourne. We're really competitive until 3/4 time, fell away too. So that's the goal. You got to play 4 quarters of footy, and we've got a pretty young side. Last couple of weeks we've had really young group. So to learn to play good consistent footy for the whole 4 quarters is the challenge.
Is that your main marker for success over the next 5 weeks? Are there any other things you need to see to get to the end of the season and say, we have taken a step forward?
Oh, we know we've taken a lot of steps forward. With the little metrics that you keep internally, and some of those around quarters one, where you position yourself at 3/4 time. This time last year we weren't in games at all at 3/4 time, so we've been a lot better in that space. But we'll just keep working on our craft. We know that the journey and the trajectory that we're on, and it just takes time and getting more games. We debuted another young fellow last week in Banch. Gets his opportunity. Maley's been getting opportunities, and these sorts of guys. So we'll continue to inject. O'Sullivan and these boys are playing their first years of footy, and that's really good for them just getting continuity and sort of solidarity with the way they play.
Did you see what you needed to from Nick Larkey out there today to prevent fitness?
Yeah, we'll make a decision on him this afternoon. He's actually surprised us with how well he's gone in the last week, and we weren't expecting him to train to this level until perhaps early next week. So we'll make a call this afternoon. I think it's more unlikely than likely, but we'll see how he feels this afternoon when we get him on the table, and he gets treated by the doctors, and then we'll make an assessment on whether he comes in or not.
And what about George Wardlaw? He played last week in the VFL. Will he return to the AFL?
Yeah, well, he's a little bit the same as Nick. We just want to make sure that he's conditioned well enough, match condition. He'd missed the best part of a month of footy because of him being out with injury. So he came back and he was terrific in the twos last week. But we just want to make sure he's got every chance of being successful when he comes back into the senior side. And so once again, we'll make the call this afternoon on whether he has one more in the twos or whether we bring him back into the side.
Technically, with his attack on the ball, attack on the contest, has he been asked to look at anything, especially over the last week in the VFL?
In terms of the way that he plays?
To try and protect himself from...
Yeah, it's pretty hard to protect George from himself. He's just such a bull at the footy, and if you change too much about the way that he plays the game, then he'll probably be nowhere near as successful as he is. So, we'll monitor it as best we can. Some of it is just getting stronger in the contest and just be a little bit smarter where he puts his head. But some of it is just unfortunate collisions that happen in the game. So, and the way that he plays, he puts himself in positions where it's more likely than others, for instance. But we're hoping with experience, he'll learn to just keep himself a bit better protected.
Jai Simpkin wasn't out there today. Is everything all good with him?
Yeah, he's good as gold. A lot of players, especially at this time of the year, sometimes you just need to rest guys, and he had an injection earlier in the week that just to settle down an issue, and when you have those injections, you can't train for a couple of days. So that's why he's having a bit of a spell today, but he'll be good as gold to play.
And a familiar face on the boundary line out there, Dennis Pagan, he made another appearance.
Yeah. Well, it's great to see his grandkids down here with him. And going back many years when Dennis coached me, it was his daughter and son that were running around about that age, and now they've had children and it's their kids. So it's pretty special when you see generations of Kangaroo supporters just continuing to support the footy club. It's pretty special to see. So it was great to see the grandkids, and great that Dennis brought them down.
A few of the boys were getting over to him, having a chat. Did he give another pump up to the boys?
Yeah, well, I think they were. He's had a fair bit to do with the footy club over the course of the year, where the players have seen a bit of him. So they enjoy him coming down, and he's an icon of our footy club. And I'm really proud that our club recognises the people that have made significant contributions to our club over a long period of time.
Duursma was another in the VFL last week and moved behind the ball. Was he receptive to that change of role, and how's it placed him to potentially get a senior recall in defence?
Yeah, well, you're right. He did go behind the ball, and we've just found that a lot with young kids trying to find their way in the game. How difficult it is to make a real consistent impact forward of the footy, and so we've tried him in a number of positions. He's played forward, he's played midfield, he's played a little bit of wing. Earlier in the year in the VFL, he played a little bit of half-back, and last week we pushed him to half-back as well. So that's horses for courses a little bit. We're just trying him in different positions and trying to find a spot where he can have some consistency and continuity with his footy, and we'll continue with that for a little while yet.
Do you have a vision of what he is for the team long term, or is it?
We got a clear vision on what his capabilities are, but and that's something around a Jack Gunston type of player. But Jack Gunston was not making a huge contribution in his second, third year of footy either. These young kids trying to find their way as a sort of forward midfielder type of player, plays a little bit of wing. We played a lot of gunno on a wing early in his career at Hawthorn, let alone what he was doing at Adelaide. So it's a long journey for these lads to navigate, and the most challenging part is the early part, when they're not quite strong enough to take these key positions, not quite crafty enough to know the running patterns and get in the road of the other key forwards in the side. So he'll find his way, but we're really confident he's going to be a long-term player for us.
Tribunal last night, what did you make of the decision to suspend Stephen May? The Jackson Archer case played a part in the trial last night. Has it left you with clarity on how the AFL is going to come down on these incidents, or is there a bit of grey area?
Well, I think it's pretty consistent in terms of the clarity. If you hit the head, you're in a little bit of strife. Our concern as football followers is it's just too outcome based. But Swanee's come into the AFL in the last couple of weeks, and there'll be smarter minds than mine that will address that at the end of the year, I'm sure. But it creates a little bit of hysteria now because guys miss games of footy, but they'll work it out in due course. But the game has got an obligation to protect players and the way they go about their footy, and the welfare for the future of the game. And so we're all in support of that. We just need to make sure that the powers that be make good decisions in the off season about what the game looks like going forward.